Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out ReZero episode number 17. I need to know what is going to happen within this episode. So the last episode we finished off with the white whale showing up, an actual whale, which really surprised me. I was almost kind of expecting a guy to be the white whale, like just some big beast of a person who could use probably some sort of magic that was super powerful. I was expecting someone just insanely powerful, right? But it turns out it's an actual land whale who is close to the tree of Flugel. And I don't know if the location of the tree of Flugel is in any way related to the white whale or if the two are just circumstantial with one another. But going by what we see right now, one can only assume the circumstances are not circumstancing, right? A lot of really awful shit went down last episode for Subaru. Nothing in the sense of what he went through in episode 15, but within episode 16 he was being rejected, he was being turned down, and he was being used a lot. And it's very sad to see, but you know, that's the way this world works. That's politics, and I don't think really you can hold anyone accountable or hold anyone to blame for anything that they may have done within the last episode. If anything, Subaru should have been better prepared to deal with the people that he's dealing with and to be prepared for what would come and what they would want and just everything like that. So we might be getting a reset at the very beginning of this episode. If we do, I suspect that we will change some of the tactics that we used within episode 16 and we will be better prepared for dealing with the candidates and dealing with the situations that we're thrust into. Not important whatsoever, but I guess the reason why I thought the white whale would be a guy is because in Berserk, of course, you know, you get the holy knights, the holy whale knights, right? And that one guy who just sticks around way longer than he should have was a whale knight, and so I just thought that maybe it would be someone wearing whale armor similar to him within Berserk. But yeah, that's the only reason I guess I thought for sure it would be a person. Actually, I guess like I feel like that's a fair assumption because we have not seen anything like this yet within ReZero. Like, yes, there are demi-humans and yes, there are magical beings and just everything like this, but this white whale just seems really unlike anything else we've seen, and I'm excited to learn more about it. I hope we do learn more about it. I hope there's depth to this creature and reasoning for why it's here. Is it protecting something? Is it longing for someone? You know, Laboon type whale? Like, who knows? We'll find out when we start this episode. So here we go. Let's just dive right into this. If you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below letting me know if you could be a demi-human within the series, what kind of demi-human would you want to be, without spoiling anything that might come up in the future, if that's even possible. But yeah, let's dive right into this. Here we go. You'll also have to forgive me for my lip. I was biting it shortly before I started recording, so it might start bleeding here and there throughout this recording. And yeah, I really apologize for that. It's pretty gross. Okay, we are kicking things off right away again. All Ram, yes! Are we gonna get out of this somehow? Oh, come on, Otto. You got this. Lead us to safety. Yep. Holy shit. Thing looks crazy. Alright, time to look away for the opening. We are not getting spoiled. Whew, okay. I've been told that I can watch that opening from episode 20 on. Oh my god, the other carriages are scattered. Yeah. That's very upsetting and very unfortunate. Holy shit, Monstro! Okay, Ram. She's a beast. Run past it to the left. She's maintained her sanity while using her horn, which is pretty cool, I think. Oh, Ram, that was cool. Oh, that was sick. Throw the oil at it and then blow it up. Or do we not have the oil anymore? Is it targeting Subaru? It could very well be targeting Subaru because of the stink No, Ram! No! That's not happening! No, we're not abandoning you! Piss off! Ram, no. Yeah, don't let her, don't let her, don't let her. It's a hug. Very what? You were born to live your life? What? Oh no. Oh no, no. Ram can't die. We're gonna... What? If Ram dies here, what are we gonna do? Like, we can't reset that, can we? Like, well, I mean, we still can. We've been further than we are now, and we reset back to Apigai, but we seem to have made it out somehow. Like, how did we make it out of this? I really thought that was it. I thought we were gonna get a reset from the whale. I swear if this is how Ram dies, I'm gonna be pissed. This is not Subaru's fault though. I'm speechless. Yeah, literally, like, you can't... The former sword saint? Holy shit! Wait. I'm gonna pause. And I'll put this back like 10 seconds to watch and read this. But, crazy bullshit theory time. Wilhelm is the sword demon. We still have no explanation for that title. And the subject of his wife has been this really mysterious subject. So what if his wife was the former sword saint and she died fighting this white whale? He is the sword demon just by proxy of being married or whatever to the former sword saint. Yeah, that's all I got going for me right now. I don't know if that would make him Reinhardt's father or not, but yeah, that's my bullshit theory, just out of nothing. Like, I've got nothing to back that up, but I'm gonna wind this back a bit just to pay attention, because this is really important information that I want to pay attention to. Have you got, like... Has he got a memory problem? Jeez! What the hell is happening? Okay. Oh my god, the white whale is back. Oh, Ram's sacrifice. It was for nothing. Yeah, Ram's dead. That's... It's after me. Holy shit, it has a horn? A witch fiend? Ah, shit. Natsuki, please die. Jeez, Otto? Otto? What the hell? Yo, that guy sucks. What the hell was that? Oh, well, we're gonna get a reset at the very least. But jeez. This is so sad. Like, Subaru. Subaru, you are... I don't know. I don't know how you do it. Huh? It left? The cultists. This is awful. Oh, the land dragon is such a good boy though. But oh my... Gee, there's so much to unpack here. Like, I just don't have the words to say or do anything here because, oh, holy shit, this is awful. The kids. Oh, that's so nice, but like, no. What does that mean? Oh, is it still gonna happen? Like, it hasn't happened yet? Okay, we know this place very well. Where's Betty? Ram? Oh, no, it's gonna be Ram, isn't it? It's gonna be Ram. Oh, it's Ram. Oh, oh, I'm feeling so much right now. I'm so conflicted. It's so painful. Imagine having to tell your the twin sister of someone that their twin is dead. And she literally made it so we couldn't do anything. The white whale, if it kills you, it makes you... Jeez. Why are we the only one? So it wasn't Otto at all. I thought Otto might have had a memory problem. He was saying Hume as dreaming, and I'm pretty sure what Rem uses spells Huma, I think. Is that some sort of relation? Does... what? Does the white whale, like, wipe them from existence, or just the memories? But why not our memories? If it kills you, like, is that it? So we need a reset, I think. But, like, I don't want to see him die. Beatrice, come on, please help us. Are we gonna go talk to Amelia, actually? Yeah. Not even a knock. Just tell him. Tell her about the witch fiends. Or witch cultists. Oh my god, Subaru. Oh my god.
レムのためにもやらなきゃいけないことが。
レム
Oh, this is truly, honestly heartbreaking.
何もかもさらけ出して血ヘド吐いた方がマシだ。来るなら来ればいい。
If you're coming for me, then come. Jeez.
俺は死に戻りして。
Oh.
どういうことだ。いつもなら。エミリア。
It got her instead? Oh my god, no. Jeez. Oh my god. What is happening right now? This series is really just... Oh my god. Original form? Beatrice, you're very cold, but like, that's kind of normal, I guess, for you, but... Please share information with us, Beatrice. Does she protect the mansion? Like everyone else seemed to die in episode 15? Let's go, Beatrice. Okay. What are you... Oh, that's really sad. Again, we didn't do anything wrong. Are they going to kill us? Oh, Beetlejuice.
その胸に抱いていらっしゃるのはひょっとしてハンマの娘ではありませんですかね。
The half devil girl.
勤勉なることか。我々が動くより前にハンマの命を試練にかけて奪ってくれた。
Ordeal. Oh.
俺が勤勉。そうです。勤勉。素晴らしいです。試練一つすら乗り越えられず、天津さえ大罪の一つすら向き合えず。 待望を抱いた挙句に最初の石ころにつまずいて終わる。
One of the sins?
あなた怠惰ですね。
Oh my god, there it is again. Has it been him this whole time? The unseen hand?
あなた今見えざる手を見ていませんですか？
Has it actually been him this whole time? Or is it something...
怠惰の剣の寵愛によって授けられし私の見えざる他の誰かが目にすることなど許されないのです。
Jeez. This man is crazy.
ハンマーの肉体破壊したらあなたはどれほどいい声で泣いてくれるのですかね。
The fact this is being sung by Emilia's voice actors too is just awful. Puck? Oh. To my daughter. Oh, it is Puck. Oh, look at that face. Holy shit. Disgrace in the extreme? Oh, that was an intense episode. Holy shit. I felt everything within this episode. I don't even know where to begin to talk about this because I felt despair. I felt like some sort of happiness when Subaru saw the kids, and then just confusion and just every feeling just hit me within this episode. And yeah, I might take 5 just to compose my thoughts, I guess, and just yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the place right now. Oh my god. So yeah, that was another brutal, intense, awful episode. I say awful. It was an incredible episode of ReZero. Like, where do you even start with this episode? The episode, it starts with Otto, Subaru, and Rem trying to outrun the whale. And it's very clear that things are not going to go well for them. Like, the whale is right on their ass. Rem is swinging at it with her weapon, hitting it, but not really doing a whole lot. It just continues to chase after them. And they keep asking the question of, what does this thing want? Why is it after us? Why is it not going after any of the other transport vehicles? It's only after us. And it takes a while to figure out why that is, but, you know, we continue to see it chasing after us. And Ren basically comes up with a gambit, and that gambit is to sacrifice her life in order to save and protect Subaru and Otto by, you know, proxy of protecting Subaru, you know. But she asks Otto to protect Subaru and to get him to the location because he has the payment. And so he's like, sure, okay, whatever, I'll do that. But he doesn't try to stop her. Otto does not try to stop Ren because in his mind, his safety is paramount. And that makes a lot of sense because Otto does not know these people. Otto has just met these people and has no real life obligation to them. Yes, he owes them this debt because they bought his goods. And so this is what he owes them because he said he would do this, and this is him repaying that debt. So technically, yes, he does owe them, but nowhere in any kind of like spoken agreement was it agreed that he would sacrifice his life for them. So yeah, I feel like I can't really give him too much shit here because this was a life or death situation, in a situation that should have just been traveling from one place to another. It should not have meant him dying for that. But Rem and Subaru have this really sweet moment where Subaru's saying, I'm not going to let you go, you're not going. And Rem is surprised by the hug that they have with one another, and that hug really only comes because we're made to believe that it only happens because of a rocky part of the road, of the path they're traveling, where it knocks them into one another. But I feel like this hug would have happened regardless, right? I feel like this was a long way coming. This was absolutely on its way from Subaru anyway. And then Rem hits us with that really, really just, it's so painful to read. I believe I was born for this very moment. And that kind of feels like it undoes a lot of the character growth that she has had within the past handful of episodes, because she thought she should die. You know, she didn't believe she had the right to be alive and everything. Subaru kind of allowed her to feel like she was allowed to live. Like, that's how it seemed to me anyway. Subaru opened her eyes and she realized she could live for herself. She realized she could live to do things she wanted to do. But within this very scene, she almost taps back into the old Rem where she says, I believe I was born for this very moment. As though she only exists to further someone else, to further something, not so that she can live, she can do what she wants. Yes, she maybe chose to do this. She did this because she wanted, perhaps. She didn't explicitly say that, but you know, you can deduce that, right? Because she wanted to do this. She wanted to protect Subaru. Subaru is probably the most important person to her besides her sister Ram. And she will do absolutely anything for him, and it shows because this scene basically proved that when she kind of like knocked him unconscious, I guess, or like paralyzed him for but a moment, so he collapsed and could only watch as she jumped out the back of the carriage. From that moment on, it was pretty obvious that she must have sacrificed herself. She basically died to fight the white whale because she said she would distract it for long enough that they could get away. And after an undisclosed amount of time, Subaru wakes up with the coin in his hand, so that's how it's made abundantly clear right away that this actually happened to him. And he asks Otto, where is Rem? Where is Rem? What happened? And Otto says that she jumped out the back to intercept the white whale. In that moment, Subaru cannot believe it. He's like, why didn't you do anything? Did you not try to stop her? Like, she could be in danger. We need to turn around. And Otto says, no, we're not turning around. We're not doing that because then we will be in danger. And I'm not putting us in danger. She did that so that we could live. And so we must honor that sacrifice. You know, it's kind of like what I'm getting from Otto, but at the same time, he is a coward. And it's very clear how much of a coward he is, I guess. I don't think we can really fault him for that necessarily, though, because this is a really dire situation and one that most people will never find themselves in. So what do you do in this situation? And I don't think we can really give Otto shit in this situation for wanting to live. He has just been living a normal life probably until now, and this is the most insane, intense thing that's ever happened to him. Subaru saying to Otto that he has no right to talk about Rem like that, and that Otto was the one that abandoned Rem is kind of, you know, I can see both perspectives here. I can see Subaru's and I can also see Otto's. And I've explained kind of Otto's perspective already, but I can also understand Subaru's perspective because it's almost like Otto was very clearly fine, absolutely okay with Rem jumping out the back of the carriage, but I know other characters would not have been. Subaru obviously being one of those characters, and there's plenty other characters within the series that probably would not have been okay with that and would have stopped it from happening. And we get this glimmer of hope, which is something that Otto had mentioned previously, where he says, you want to squander this one glimmer of hope we have. So we have this hope right now because the white whale has stopped chasing us. And so one can assume that we are in the clear, you know, we're no longer in the mist, we're continuing, and it looks like we might be able to make it. We might survive, we might get to the end and not need to reset. And so in my head, I was just so terrified and worried that that meant that Rem was dead. Like, she was just straight up dead. We continue on a little bit longer, where Otto shares with us that the white whale is this terrifying monster. A great force was gathered by Lacunica to go out and fight the white whale, and the white whale still somehow managed to kill the former sword saint. So here was me thinking that we could gather a force of strong allies, you know, like Julius, Reinhard, Wilhelm, maybe even Al, just like strong characters that we know are probably strong to fight the white whale. But with that force alone, there's no guaranteeing we could defeat it. There's no guaranteeing that any of them would make it out alive after fighting it. And so this white whale is this truly terrifying creature. And I did drop a theory in the middle of the episode about who the former sword saint could be. I'm guessing it is Wilhelm's wife, and that's why he is the sword demon. And I wonder if the sword saint thing kind of runs in the family, and that's why Reinhard is the next sword saint. I don't know though. Or maybe it's that the next sword saint should have been Wilhelm, but he was not seen as strong as this other person, and this other person was an outsider who was not part of the Van Astrea family, and she married into the Van Astrea family through Wilhelm, and so she became the Sword Saint with the Van Astrea name, and then it carried on down to Reinhard. That's pure speculation at that point. We get just the awful moment where Otto asks, who is Rem? In that moment, one can assume that is the moment Rem died, because it happened at the end of the previous episode where a carriage disappeared, a whole carriage disappeared, and then Otto forgot who that person was, didn't even know who Subaru was talking about. And so the assumption then in that moment is that the carriage and the person who was in the carriage being killed by the white whale meant that the memories and the knowledge of that person is wiped from the existence of other people. And so, like, I could be staring at you. I'm Subaru. I'm staring at Otto. Otto gets killed by the white whale. And, well, actually, Subaru's the worst example because he's the only person that seems to remember these people. But let's say Rem is staring at Otto. Otto gets eaten by the white whale. Rem suddenly doesn't even remember that Otto was there in the first place. But in this moment, we kind of ask ourselves, does Otto have some sort of memory problem? But then the white whale shows up and it's after us again, and we learn that it is a witch fiend because it has this big ass horn in its head. And so now I'm wondering if witch fiends have this big horn. Witch fiends always seem to have horns. That's something we've seen anytime we've seen witch fiends at this point. Then are witch fiends and demons somewhat tangentially related to one another? Like, I don't think demons are witch fiends, and I don't think witch fiends are demons. But Is there some sort of correlation and like crossover between the two at any point or anything? Because horns are the common denominator here. And that's when Subaru exclaims out loud that it's after him because he is being sniffed out by the witch fiend. And that's when Otto says, okay, so die, Subaru, die so that I can live. And he shoves Subaru out of the carriage. And it's so sad to see, because in that moment we can assume that Subaru is about to die. And Otto is very selfish and he kind of breaks the agreement that he had with Rem, but he probably doesn't even remember that agreement that he had with Rem. He doesn't remember anything like that. Rem asked Otto to make sure Subaru got to the location safe, and Otto does not do that. Otto does not ensure that happens. I said during the episode that, wow, this guy sucks, Otto, but at the same time, I get it. This is like the sort of situation, like, what would you do in a situation like this? You know, you're only human. You're only human, and you're gonna play the hero. Like, it's really a huge question in, I guess you could say, morality. You know, like, what are your morals? Where your morals stand? Your moral compass. But at the same time, if you could just push someone out of a carriage that you barely know, that means nothing to you, so that you can live, like, would you? Like, it's a really interesting question in a study of morality, I guess. And I feel like from Otto's perspective, I don't think he necessarily did anything wrong here. I think that, yeah, I wish he didn't do it, because that sucks, and you know, he sucks for that, because this is our main character. This Subaru is someone we know and love versus someone we don't know, we just met, called Otto, who is very obviously cowardly. Yeah, obviously emotions right now are going to be, screw this guy sucks. But yeah, I think I'm taking a step back and looking at it from a logical perspective. I think Otto didn't necessarily do anything that could be seen as evil or anything. Like, yes, he did something awful, and he did something that he will have to live with, knowing that he caused someone to die, and he, you know, all that there, like, but he's allowed to continue living because of that. And if the white whale would have eaten Subaru, he would have forgotten about it anyway, so like, he could have continued living like nothing happened. The white whale shows up and basically opens its mouth and blows Subaru away to the edge of a cliff as its eyes glow red, and Subaru gets up and starts running. His arms are broken, his face is battered, and he is just bubbling, no, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. This is like truly like the most... so this is going to sound crazy considering everything Subaru has been through, but this is the most emotional Subaru has probably made me, which sounds crazy because he's been through a lot, but at this point, I'm so deeply invested in his character, and I'm rooting so much for him. I want him to succeed, and I want to see him continue and do great things and ensure the safety and everything of others. But he himself knows he can only do that sometimes if he dies. And who can ever prepare themselves for death? We see that a lot in this moment where he's running away, trying to beat the fate and trying not to die. All that happens is he falls down and looks up and sees the moon. The fog has lifted. The fog is no longer there, and the white whale is gone. We get no explanation. We get nothing. I don't know what this means for Subaru or for the white whale or just anything like that. I don't know if Subaru commanded it by saying he didn't want to die. He commanded it to leave, essentially, or what really happened there. But it's truly sad that Subaru gets put to a breaking point, essentially, at this moment. And he's staring up at the stars. He's staring up at the night sky. And it's kind of like... to compare it, I mentioned Berserk at the very beginning of this episode reaction. I will bring it up again. It's kind of reminding me of that one panel of Guts. He's got the arrow sticking into like his shoulder, and he's a child and he's staring at the night sky. It's kind of reminding me of that because they're both being put through a lot in those moments, and Subaru is staring up right now, just kind of beaten, broken, and bruised as he starts walking and sees the land dragon show up again, and he deduces that Otto has been killed by witch cultists because their little dagger swords are once again here in the carriage. But we continue anyway, and the land dragon is a good boy. It is a great boy. I'm glad that the cultists didn't kill it this time, because it's so sad that they killed it in a previous episode. But then Subaru gets to see the kids again. And something I never really talked about in episodes 14, 15, or 16, I guess, is that these kids are very important to Subaru. They brighten his day. They are such an absolute joy in his life, and he is a joy in theirs. And when all this stuff happens with the kids, that really adds a huge toll on Subaru. And so seeing them alive, seeing them happy, seeing them well in this moment right here, I think is very important for Subaru, because it allows him to be somewhat happy. It allows him to feel some joy and happiness and feel like he's doing something good. He's doing something that will benefit them. He's doing something that will have positive outcomes. And then we have the heartbreaking scene of Subaru thinking he sees Ram, but it's Ram. Finding out that Amelia healed us. And in that moment, we mention Ram's name. We say Ram is dead, and we're crying. And I'm in that moment like, holy shit, like this is something I would never be able to dream of doing. You know, telling a twin that her twin is dead. That is awful. That is so awful. That is the most, I don't know how doctors or like police officers, anything like that can do it, you know, where they'll approach someone and tell them that their family member is no longer with us. Like, it is, that's, I can't imagine. I really cannot imagine what it's like to have to bring yourself to that place to tell someone that. And Subaru has to do it in this moment. But in that moment, Ram just hits us with the, who is Ram? And that's kind of when it makes sense to us that when Otto asked, who is Ram, it wasn't that he has some sort of memory condition or anything like that. He forgot. And for some reason, Subaru is the only one able to remember. Surely that has to be somewhat related to the Witch of Envy's favoritism. I don't know how to word that, but yeah, they have this big moment where they're like, yeah, I don't have a sister, and everything that happened in that situation it went this way. And yeah, it killed me to have to see Subaru experience these moments where Ram is forgotten. And it confused me as well, because Ram's room looked different, and I don't know if that means Ram's existence was wiped from the world or anything like that. I don't know, because what is the White Whale able to do? Because people remember the White Whale killed the former Sword Saint. It's not like everyone that the White Whale kills is forgotten. So is it some sort of spell that the White Whale uses? Is there something else? Is it not actually the White Whale? Like, we don't have those answers yet. I'm sure we'll learn the answers eventually. But yeah, in those moments, we are just left feeling so confused and so sad for Subaru, because he's having to experience, like, I can't explain just how I feel for him. I feel so deeply and like intensely sad for Subaru. And then when he approaches Amelia, he can't even say word, like he can't even bring himself to say that witch fiends are going to show up in 3 days. Sorry, not witch fiends, witch cultists are going to show up in 3 days. They're going to kill you, this, that, or the other. He doesn't even tell her anything he experienced. And I don't know if he withholds that information because he believes he wouldn't be believed, or what, and he thinks his best course of action is to just say, hey, you're in danger, come with me if you want to live. But saying something like that is not going to make someone believe you. I mean, it might, but it's not just going to by default make someone believe you, right? You need to give them a reason to believe you. And Subaru in these moments does not give Amelia any reason to believe him that she needs to go with him. And she just questions why he's here. You know, I thought you were healing, and I would like to come, but I don't think I have the time. I have too much going on right now. And Subaru's just basically barking orders and being pretty mean about it. You know, like, you have to come in a few days, you'll see everything and you'll see for yourself. And then just shut up and listen to me. And Emilia herself is even like, this isn't you. This isn't the person I know. You're not the person I remember. And Subaru is just saying like all these awful things that I don't think he would usually say. He is just at a breaking point. He is beyond his breaking point, and he just doesn't understand why nobody understands. He doesn't understand why nobody will listen to him. I feel like a big part of why he's acting the way he is after everything he experienced in the capital with Krush, Priscilla, and Anastasia, where he thought he was doing the right thing by seeking help and by he was following orders and doing what they said, listening to advice, not necessarily following advice, but listening. And all these things just ended in rejection and him being used. And so at this point, he just feels like he needs some sort of control. He needs to be in control of the situation by just taking Amelia out of the situation. And he cannot do that without telling her why. And he can't tell her why because that will lead to obviously awful things. But then he reaches his true breaking point when he goes on a crazy tirade about, it won't work, and just telling her that she's not going to make it. Anything she does will not be good enough. You can't save anyone or be saved. And in that moment, it's almost like he's speaking to himself. I think he is kind of speaking to himself, but he's also speaking to Amelia, and I think that either of them could interpret it in either way. And we see through Amelia's eyes what she sees in that moment, and not someone who is being really just aggressive and mean or anything like that, but someone who is so broken and in so much pain. I think that shot right there, showing Amelia's eye with his reflection in it, is maybe like up there with one of my favorite shots in this entire series. I think that it's a really great insight into the two characters, the way they see each other. And I'm not saying that she sees him as someone broken all the time, but in that moment she sees, obviously it's right in front of her, he's crying and he's got this obviously distraught face, but she doesn't question the words. She questions his expression. She questions what he's truly experiencing. And yeah, I really just love that dynamic that the two have. And then obviously Subaru learns that Amelia has also forgotten about Rem. She does not know who Rem is. And yeah, I just don't know. So Subaru decides in that moment, I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to tell you about death by reset. I'm going to make it so that you'll understand me, even if I have to cough up blood, even if it means something awful happens to me, I will tell you. And this scene right here reminds me a lot of a scene from Hereditary. I'm not going to tell you what, because Hereditary is one of my favorite movies of all time, for one. And I don't want to spoil the moment for you, because it's a moment where the viewer is conditioned into believing one thing will happen because of something we've seen, but something entirely different happens, and it happens to someone else, and it's the main character's fault. It's our character's fault, the character we're following, but they couldn't have known that because they were led to believe something else, and it's like they were tricked. It's like something happened beyond their control, and that's exactly what happens here, where he goes to tell Amelia thinking something's going to happen to him. And I think that's a fair assumption. I think that's absolutely okay. I think, nothing he did here was particularly wrong. I don't think he caused this. Like, yes, what he did led to what ended up happening, but I don't think this was his fault. And Super himself is very confused. He's like, usually I feel something right now. And that's when Amelia collapses into his arms. Blood is dripping out of her, and just a pool of blood starts to stack up almost immediately. She just dies in his arms in those moments, and there's nothing Subaru can do about it. He basically caused this in ways that he didn't intend, ways that he could not have foreseen, and he ends up staying there with her for a long period of time. And that's when Beatrice ends up walking in and basically being like, you look like you've been through a lot, and then says, I suppose Bobby won't be coming out, and says Bobby will return in his original form. And in that moment I'm like, confused. I don't know what that means. But Subaru basically asks if Beatrice can kill him, basically asking her to help reset things in those moments, because that will help us. But he doesn't voice that, and Beatrice is like, I can't do that, that's too cruel, and I don't want to do that. She says, you understand nothing though, you understand nothing at all. And that's a line that has me questioning if she does know more than she has led us to believe. But I don't know. Maybe it's just that she's saying, like, I don't want to be a part of your death because you don't understand what dying means. Beatrice is like, I will protect this mansion even if it costs everything, even if it costs me my life, even if it costs blah 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 blah. Something that's even something that Roswell will not be willing to do. And she says, like, you can't stay here, it's not safe. So she sends him away through a portal. And in those moments, I'm left wondering what Beatrice really wants or really feels, because she looks very sad and she's staring down as she's saying all these words as Subaru and Amelia go through this portal. She looks like she doesn't necessarily believe everything or want him to leave, but she says, I suppose you can die out of my sight. And I don't know what to make of that, because we don't really build on that within this episode. We just kind of go through the portal, and that's when we're screaming out, begging to be killed, and that's when the witch cultists show up, Beetlejuice shows up, and yeah, just terrible. You took the half devil's life in the ordeal's name. Like, why are they calling her a half devil? What Beetlejuice says really makes me think Amelia could potentially be the Witch of Envy. There is that possibility, because Beetlejuice makes reference to, you waited all this time, everything, you couldn't even overcome one ordeal and you die. And you couldn't even confront one of the sins or anything like that. So is Amelia actually the Witch of Envy? And so when she said in episode 1, you can call me Satla, was that some sort of hint? I just don't know what to make of this, because Beetlejuice does just say a lot of shit. He just yaps. He's an absolute yapper. But there is obviously some truth in what he's saying. But then that's when we see the unseen hand. And it's the same hands we've been seeing this whole time, as Subaru mentions, return by death, and then something comes up to touch his heart. We see that happen a lot, and then the hands come out and try to fix things. It's almost like these unseen hands forcing him to stop in those moments. And this is a big moment where Beetlejuice is like, this authority granted to me, nobody else can see it, what the hell? And it leaves me questioning then if these unseen hands are something that all the archbishops can use, or if it's just like a sloth thing, or what. And is Subaru actually an archbishop? Is he somehow an archbishop of something? I don't know. We need more answers, and this episode kind of ends in just a horrific way, with Subaru having to watch as they reach for Amelia. And we don't know where this is going to lead, because Puck does show up, and it looks like Puck is here to save the day. Then, Puck saying, my daughter, is making me once again think Puck is the Witch of Envy, which contradicts exactly what I was saying before. But Puck has a much more like dog-like face. I don't know how to describe that when he shows up again. And yeah, he's just like, back off, you filthy animals. And Puck calls them degenerates as the episode ends. So I want to know what's going to happen in the next episode, if we'll learn some stuff from Puck and then Puck will kill us. I just hope we get some information from Puck before we get a reset, because obviously with Amelia dead, Otto dead, Rem dead, that's a lot of characters dead in one episode. And I feel like the only way to fix things is to go back and change things with the information we now have. And I hope that Puck can tell us a few things we can learn from Puck. I'm excited to check out episode 18. I really just want to dive into it right now, but I don't have time, sadly. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below letting me know, like I said, which type of demi-human you would like to be if you were in the world of ReZero, if you were to be demi-human, that is. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. I hope that you're having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.